and I'm gonna take something from ZBrush that like is not like done at all, you know, and then I'm just gonna just get that into Maya real quick, get that out of Maya real quick and into Substance. So that's our goal right now. If you were on top of your stuff and have hit all the deadlines, then this does not apply to you, but this is just going to be to catch some people up. If you have a bit like someone mentioned that they didn't do the shoes, you can do this sort of stuff on specifically the shoes and then bring that over as well. But yeah, so let me do screen share, sharing screen, and there we go. Boop, boop. And perfect. All right, so we're taking a trip all the way back to ZBrush, y'all. So if you're like, if this is for that lone soul that's still in ZBrush land, I'm going to start here because I'm also going to show a way to do it in Maya. Basically, both of them have their own auto retopo tools, right? Are they great? They're pretty good. Are they what we would use in a real world environment? No, like it's just not enough. It's not good enough. Let's close this. Let's open a recent and let's go to that. Let's go to this character right here. Is this the one? This is looking like it, but let's see. Heck yeah! So I have this character. Oh man, it's so late in the class, and I don't have my character out of ZBrush yet. Mike is going to be so upset with me. How can I fix this? I'll show you real quick. Boom. We're going to subtool. We're going to where is it? Merge visible. Boom. Right there. Merged extract. It's going to make a new subtool with all those things baked down into it. This guy has a booty. I'm actually going to go in and because you know I was working with the booty before, but I want these to be like pants now. So I'm just going to use a little bit of clay buildup and fix this up. Wait, let's get some symmetry on there. Just kind of take out that definition and just give the illusion of pants. It's a sequel to The Illusion of Life, the animation guide. The Illusion of Pants. And I'm just taking all that out. Oh, they look like such jeans now. Very nice. Delicious. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. And then down here as well. It's my poly. 3 million polys. Jesus. So we're like body painters. We're gonna paint the pants. For this guy, we are. Ideally, you'd like to have like a little bit of geometry there. Like that's why I'm like kind of beveling this out, you know, just to give some like fakeness of pants right there. Boom. Beautiful. All right, this guy's so pantsed up now. You don't even know. Perfect. Perfect. I've never seen better sculpting ever. And boom. So now we need to get this down to a workable resolution. I have 3 million polys on this thing. Probably should have chosen like a lower poly object, but you know, let's do target poly count. I'm gonna do like let's do like 14K. That's what this little slider is. And I'm gonna hit Z remesh, and then we'll be hanging out for quite a few minutes. Look at my progress on that Z remesh going. Might even be able to hear my computer just whining in the background. So we're just gonna chill for a bit. And yeah, so like if whatever object you want, just Z remesh it, you know, to get like a lower resolution there. It's just gonna be nice and easy that way. And Z remeshing, an error encountered. All right, that's not ideal. That's not what we wanted. I'm gonna split these to parts. Let's do okay. There we go. And then I'm just gonna start Z remeshing these down individually and see what the problem is. I might actually dynamesh this first. Yeah, actually, no, that's the move. That's the move, y'all. Let's do it. I'm gonna merge those back together. So merge down. boop, merge down, boop, boop, boop. Just gonna get all those under one subtool. Because that Z-remesh was having quite the issue there. So now we're all one piece. I honestly might, I'm gonna take out these eyeballs because I don't want them. Don't need to see them. Boop. There we go. And I'm just gonna delete those. Geometry, modified topology, delete hidden. Boop. All right, so those are gone. And then I'm going to geometry, Dynamesh this down. Let's see what this looks like. Boop. All right, that's a little bit. Actually, that's not too bad. Let's see. What are the fingers looking like? Okay, fingers a little bit messed up. Let's up the resolution. Do that again. Nice. Look at that. Boom. Okay. And then let's Z-remesh. We're at like 9, almost 1 million polys. Let's do that same target poly count. I'm going to do Z-remesh. Z-remesh is for keeping small details, right? No, Z-remesh is basically the auto retopology, you know? So remember how we were doing that in Maya manually. We were doing like the quad draw to get like the edges defined on our model and stuff. That's what this Z-remesh does for us automatically, but its results aren't the best, you know? But they're pretty good. Okay, so this is looking like, look at that. Like it's not the best. Like if we turn on this, like you don't want like that being described. Remember how our topology is supposed to go around the mouth? Like it's supposed to go around the outside. So that's like the kind of stuff that you're not going to get from this. But all in all, it's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad. If you really want to get some like detailing in there, you might want to keep this. I'm going to go a little bit lower, so it's nicer to work with, though. Let's do 41,000 points. I'm going to do half, and I'm going to turn off adapt. Boom. And so that's a bit lower poly now. Yeah, stuff like your mouth is going to lose definition. That's why this is like this is like not the best way to do things, you know, because that's going to be inevitable. But look at the rest of it. We got the character. Boom. Retopo done. Retopo done. It's not perfect, but it's done. Export. And then let's do where should I put this? Let's see. Desktop, course materials, 426, spring. Ugh, it's so last semester. I don't want that at all. Let's do this semester. There we go. Scenes. Character, retopo. Let's do this as a FBX. Oop. Let's do cheap. Boom. I'm going to soften the normals. Boom. The visible, delightful. There we go. Boom. And over in Maya, here's a scene. Let me file save scene as. Just put that into the course materials. It's a little sneak peek for later, but there we go. All right. And then so over in Maya, make a new scene, file, import that that character that we just spat out. Here's animation 2's folder. Let's go into our real one. Boom. Character retopo cheap is what I'm looking for. There we go. And then there's our character. Beautiful. Not exactly beautiful. Look at that bow. It's all fucked. That's fine. But you know, we have main features in here. There's like a hole in this. That's going to be quite the problem, but that's fine. That's fine. You'll be able to turn in something. So to cheaply kind of modify this or get this UV, you can select your character, go to the UV editor. And then my UV editor is down here. And it looks like we have no UVs on this bad boy. So we're going to need to create planar UVs. Boom. Look at that. Delightful, delightful. And then if you can, it would be amazing if you could find an edge loop around this that's like going completely around. They're not going to be perfect since like we just did this cheaply, but like ideally you'd like to cut along that sleeve shape, you know, just so it's going to be easier for us when we're texturing. And I think I actually got it. Nice. Cool. So you could cut that. I'm also going to work in symmetry, object X. Oh man, doesn't look like that symmetrical selection is working. That's fine.
Oh, is it not? Because I think I see the orange line on the other arm.
On the other arm? Okay, yeah. I just needed to redo it all, is all, I guess. Heck yeah. Boop. And yeah, so I can cut that. Cut and sew, cut. There we go. And I'll do one on the neck as well. And it looks like our edge loops are a little bit worse here. A little bit worse. Like notice how this one starts at like the base of that collar, like on the inside, but then as you go on the outside, it ends up like beveled up to the top. So that's not going to be great. I'm actually going to still cut it though. I'm going to cut like a little bit inward though, or around here. Actually, no, let's do that cut, but then modify it over here. Let's do that. And then someone's tabbed in and they just sniffed. So if you guys don't want sniffing ASMR, then that person's going to have to mute themselves, whoever it may be. Let's see, there we go. And then boom, perfect. Cut, nice. So now you can see our texture border edges right there. They're a little bit hard to see. It's not highlighted as well. But yeah, so we got our cuts on our model. This looks messed up. Nice, cool. But if you're running really strapped for time, it's gonna be a nice way to cut that model up. And then you can click that UV shell and you're like, Mike, you didn't do any other cuts on this. And yeah, you're right. You're right. I have not yet. You're just going to select these shells and do auto seams under cut and sew. Boop. And it's just going to think for a little while. Maya's down here. You can see boop. And it did it for us. And now we should be able to unfold this. It's not going to be looking great. Not going to be looking great, but it'll unfold. See, so Maya's thinking right here, thinking real hard. Still thinking. Oh my God. Oh no. It's thinking way too hard here, guys. Ah, there we go. Boom, unfolded. Delightful. Not the best unfold, but you know, this is just so you guys can turn this thing in. And then on the skull, I usually like to do it myself because it's not too difficult. We're just going to select that middle line. I'm just going to get to the base of the skull and then shift double click this one and cut that. Boom. Again, this is not the best way to unfold this, but we just want some results. We just want some results. I'm going to unfold. Boom. Head done. Hands unfold. Boom. Done. Perfect. And then select the object and arrange and layout. Layout. Boom. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Character ready to be Is this due at the end of class or next week? It's due next week. It's due next week. But yeah, character ready to be textured. The seams are in the wrong spot. Like this does not resemble like the actual shirt. It does not resemble like the shape at all. But yeah. Wait, Natalia, you should be worried if you're like, if you don't have your UVs or character done now. Like just because it's due next week doesn't mean that you shouldn't be worried, because this stuff takes a while. I'm just showing you a shortcut though. But yeah, so here we go. Character is ready to be painted on, with that being laid out into that space. Still a work in progress for the UV, but I'm good. Okay, yeah, that's a good spot to be in. It's a good spot to be in. And then I'm also just gonna scale up this face so we can get a little bit more texture detail on there. But yeah, character is ready. Character's not perfect, but character is ready and functioning. You might want to go back and add eyes to this character. Like, notice how my eye socket just got like destroyed by that Z mesh. It just didn't even care about that. So maybe try to add that stuff back in and then unfold it again. But for the most part, this is fine. This will work for us. Let's see. This is looking weird though. Where is that? It's at the front. Okay, I see. I might actually just cut this. Like, see how this whole mesh is getting like skewed around these folds. Like, might help it if we just actually cut across the surface. And I'm just looking at the UVs straight up in here. I'm also going to save 426 cheap retopo UVs. Then cut. And we could unfold it again, but it took a while last time, so I'm not going to. But yeah, so the next question is, what if you're already in Maya, but you want to still do this sort of stuff? Like, you want to, like if you have the shoes specifically that are like messed up, like what can we do to get some topology on those? Let me make a really scuffed pair of shoes real quick. They're not going to look good. Spoiler alert. And then select these. Boom. Delightful. And here we go. Very cool. Very cool. Boom. So that's looking like a shoe to me. Oh yeah. Delicious. That's such a clown shoe, dude. Look at that. Hell yeah. All right, that'll work though for our purposes. And then say it's like super high res from ZBrush, so I'm just gonna smooth it with that smooth button. And yeah, so we basically would need to retopo this, but I don't even know if you guys have your ZBrush trials anymore because it's been so long, you know, so you might not be able to use ZRemesh. But you still want to kind of get that auto retopo. Maya does have its own version of that. So if you click on that shoe and do mesh, retopologize, and then target face count. Let's do like 500 for this. It's kind of a smaller thing. Now let's do like 200. Bulk it. Let's go for it. And then do apply. Boop. It's going to be thinking, and then it just automatically does it for us. So it has its own little auto retopo. The catch with this is right after it finishes, go to edit, delete all by type history, because for some reason, Maya does it. I think it's just because it's a newer tool. I think it came out in like Maya 2021. Like if you mess up, or like if you start modifying the mesh after you do that, it's going to start retopologizing every single step, and it takes a while. So just delete the history. You've lost your way, Sydney. What part? What have you lost? What have you lost?
I found a hole in my model, so I was fixing it, and then I just lost where you.
Well, don't you already have the topology done? Sitting?
Oh, I didn't know I was muted. I just noticed there was like my neck and my shirt were disconnected, and I saw a hole inside, so I was fixing that.
Uh-huh. And
And
then
so I lost what you were explaining.
well, I just was explaining that Maya has its own retopologize tool here. You know, so if you just go, if you click that high poly object, just go to mesh and then the retopologize. Always do the options on this one. Then you can change your target face count to like, you know, whatever. Like this is 200 faces right here. And I feel like that describes the shape decently, but like for a full character, you would need like a little bit thicker. And this is probably a little bit too thick still. Like I would go like half of this density. So like for my character, it'd probably be like what, 10K faces then. But yeah, so this is your target face count in there. Then you can click apply, or you can click retopologize, and then it will think for a while. And then after it's done thinking and you have that new geometry, just go to edit, delete all by type history, just to get that out of the scene. But yeah, so that's pretty much all that you missed. But like you already retopoed most of your character, so I don't think this applies to you, Sydney.
Like the UV part, what did you cut? Like you cut the end.
Oh yeah. So let's do this shoe. So we just retopoed that shoe. Boom, we have no UVs in here. Let's make some new UVs by doing create planar. And that's looking decent. If I middle mouse click it, it's going to project it from above. So it'll be a little bit more shoe-like. And I could just cut off the sole because it looks like it has a nice edge loop right there. So I can go double click that edge loop and then click cut. And then I could just go into UV shell and click unfold, boop, and then those objects are now unfolded. And then I could go to arrange and layout, boom, to just get it into that grid. If I didn't have that, like if I didn't have a nicely selectable edge like this, then I could also do, let me just sew those back together. Let me just make new UVs actually entirely, boop. I could click in cut and sew auto seams, and then click that object and then do unfold, and then there you go. It's not ideal, but it is yeah, it'll work. It exists. We can texture this, you know.
Okay, I'll try it.
So yeah, and then I'm just going to mirror this over this shoe. Oh, there we go. Nice. Now he has shoes. Very cool. We went from like nothing in ZBrush to full character UV'd with shoes, ready to texture in Substance. And then I'm just going to move him on top of the grid right here for when we rig him later. Why do we unfold again? Yeah, so the reason we unfold is because let's look at, let me actually just make this, I'm just going to redo this head specifically. So also I'm going to save, file save. And then let me go to planar. So I just did new UVs, fresh UVs for this face, right? So now you can see that this face has the front, right? Like the actual features of the face right here. So if I click some of these polys right here, you can see that it's right there, dead center of that. Now the issue is that right behind it is the back of the skull. So if I drag select over this, boom, you can see that it's selecting both the front. Now it's kind of hard to see. Let's turn on 4. You can see that it's selecting both the front and the back, and that's because those UVs are overlapped on top of each other. It's like imagine if you're like an MRI machine and just scanning through, like that, like I exist all on one plane right now, right? So if we wrapped an image over this character, right? So 1 second, let me file. Let me open up another scene. Actually, this is a perfect little blend over to this. So boom, you can see that this is my character's face. Like this is the character completely UV'd out. They have the face right here. That face is unfolded, right? So this is like the back of that neck. And so we're eventually going to overlay an image on top of this stuff, you know, like right here. You can see that this is all the armor. And that's where I'm getting all that color. It's because that's why we make this map, so that we can export a texture from Substance Painter. That's just a square, and then just wrap that around the object right here. You see that? So that's where that image is laying. It's like laying right behind those UVs right there. And then so when we put that into 3D space, you can see that image is now wrapped around the model, right? It's wrapped around the model. Now, if you didn't unfold that head, right, and you had some of the UVs, yeah, let's just scuff this actually right here. Let me just show you what happens. It'll really visualize UV space for you. Right there. Let's go to UV shell. And I'm just going to project that again. Boop. So that's from the front. And then let's move this off to the side. And then let's turn off selection highlighting. So you see that texture is now like it's going all over the face. And even if oh man, Maya's going real slow right now. Even if I line these up with the face right there, like you can see it just barely faintly on that texture map. If I like scaled this down and lined it up, you see how it's not, it's not like accurate. Because like this texture was made for those other UVs, but look at the backside of it now. You can see that face is still projected on that. It's because like these UVs are all sitting in the same space. They're sitting in the same space on that UV. So that's why we need to unfold it to be able to expose those UVs so we can start painting on them in Substance Painter. Does that make sense? Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I just figured that this would be the best way to visualize that is if you actually saw some bad UVs for this. But yeah, very nice. I hear Discord popping off. Oh, it's not someone in here. What's this? Fixed non-manifold geometry. That means that you messed up your geo at some point. Just do always fix non-manifold geometry. You just check that box and then do fix. Again, it's not the best way. You'd want to instead run a mesh cleanup on that. So if you're getting that error, you would, oh man, 1 second. Maya's going insanely slow. There we go. And then let's show my selection. So if you get that error message, it's best to go to mesh cleanup and then go to the options right here and then do select matching polygons and then non-manifold. And I just do this because it like highlights areas that are labeled as non-manifold geometry, and you can really move that around. It looks like it's identifying some non-manifold geometry up here. So I wouldn't be able to unwrap that, you know, or it might be faces with more than 4 sides that it's looking at. Yeah, that's faces with more than 4 sides that it's getting confused by. This one right there. So if you do non-manifold geometry, boom. Mine doesn't have non-manifold geometry, which is good. Wait a minute, might have some. Ah, has some in the boots. Disgusting. How could you? But basically, that's just a mesh error. It looks like I have like some geometry that's kind of welded together in here. So you just have to like either delete that or like remake it and fix the problem in there. But you can also just click that automatic fix non-manifold geometry, and then unfold it after that. But yeah. So once you get all those bits unfolded, I'm going to go back to that other character, cheap topo UVs. Boom. Heck yeah. Once you get that whole character represented, let's also go into, I'm just going to mesh combine. Boop. Right there. And then we want to lay out these UVs. So select the character. And finally layout. Boom. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to go to UV shell, just scale up this head, because you want to ideally take as much. Let's turn off symmetry. You want to take up as much space of this as possible, right? Because we're going to overlay our texture onto this. This is where our texture is going to go. And if we have like a lot of empty space in here, like that's so many pixels of like image that we're not using. So like that's why we want to occupy as much space as we can for that. You can also scale up certain things to be bigger than others. Like usually when you UV a face, like you'll be like, no one's gonna like look at the scalp in the back really. So like I would size up the face itself so you can get more detail there, you know? But yeah, that's some optional stuff. So to get this over into Substance now, you're just gonna left click it and then file. If you have a bunch of pieces, then you could just drag select over them. Make sure you're not exporting your high poly stuff, just only what you've retopoed. And then file, export selection. And then you're gonna wanna go to, if you size it up in layout, will it affect the proportions of your character? Nope, nope, you can scale up and down in that space. As long as you're in that UV editor, it'll only apply to the stuff in the UV editor. But yeah, and then there we go. Now I'm just gonna go to scenes. I'll do cheap character painter. Boom. As an FBX, by the way, don't export as like a .mb. Make sure when you're exporting selection that you're doing FBX, because Substance can't read .mbs. It can't read that file type. So give it an FBX, and then you'll be good to go. All right. So now that we have that character, we're ready for Substance Painter. We're ready for it. It's gonna be dope. Lots of cool stuff to show in there. So I'm going to close this bad boy down. I'm actually gonna just save this scene and close Maya because Substance Painter is a thick boy. Actually, I don't know. You guys have questions about other software a lot, so I might keep it open. I'm definitely closing ZBrush though. ZBrush can get out of here. No one wants to see you around here, ZBrush. And then
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah, so I kind of get lost. So can you like send that file to me so I have something to paint right now?
Oh yeah.
Yes, please. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll try to catch up later.
Yeah. Just make sure that you give yourself time to. But yeah,
sure.
feel free to watch the lecture back when I link it to you as well to show this, because I unfortunately don't have a video that shows this like cheater method, you know.
Yeah, no worries. I'll try to catch up with the lecture later.
Yeah. Sounds good. Oh, let me see if I can. Maybe it's small enough to fit on Discord. We'll see. Boop, 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 boop. Let's see. Character retopo cheap. We're looking for. Oh man. What? Of course, materials. There we go. Scenes. Cheap character painter. Let's see. Oh, 1 MB. It's gonna be perfect. So if you wanna, if your character is really messed up, feel free to follow along with this cheap character painter demo. Boop. You can just grab that file, and it'll be cool. Grind set, mindset. We got this, gang. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. Is this for everyone or just those in ZBrush? This is for like it depends, because like I showed the part where you retopo. I showed how you can retopo in Maya. I showed you how to automatically UV map. So that's like all the steps that we've been covering for the past 3 weeks, you know. So yeah, I show all those different approaches so you can choose which one works best for you, and then get your stuff into Painter. Awesome, the UV and it's not responding that much. Sydney, make sure that you're like doing edit, delete all by type history. Because Maya keeps track of everything. Like like someone's file broke and I could still see the history of all of their things in like the like deep in Maya land, you know, but like I could see it in there. So like that slows down Maya over time. So just be sure you're going through and edit, delete all by type history every once in a while. But yeah, so I'll give you guys time to grab that file. I'm going to grab some water and then we're going to go into Substance Painter. It's going to be awesome. All right, y'all. We are back. We are back. Okay, so everyone, make sure you've exported your character as an FBX. Just select it. Export selection. Make sure it's an FBX. Boom. And you'll be good to go. And then we will move on to Substance Painter. So this is just like a little thing that I was helping another student with. One of the other classes was doing some texturing stuff and I was just showing them what's going on. But yeah, so over in Substance Painter now, you'll open it up and then it'll be like, there's a button that's like start painting. Don't click that, just close that menu and just go to File, New. Everyone go to File, New. Wait a minute, seeing some Discord posts. And is that gray material okay? Yeah, yeah, gray's fine.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
I tried to like use that cheap character painter that you sent right now, and when I tried to open it, it said that I don't have an application that's compatible with opening that, but I'm not too sure because I have everything. Like I have ZBrush, Maya.
Did you just double click the file?
Well, I double clicked it and then it asked me to save it. So then I saved it, and then from there it told me like I have nothing to open it with, which
Oh yeah, that's probably just like Windows or Mac being dumb. You should be able to just go into Substance Painter and do File, New, and then open it in there. You know.
okay. I'll keep trying.
But yeah, as long as it lets you download the file, you should be good. As long as you have it in there. All right. And is that gray material okay? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine because we're gonna paint over that. That's gonna be, that gray material is not gonna be gray anymore. Dang. Okay. Someone having some health issues. Frick. Okay. I hope you feel better soon. Migraines are absolutely the worst. All right, so File, New, and you're gonna get a bunch of options in here. It still doesn't let you. What is it? Wait, what? Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Let me enable it for you.
Oh, okay.
Stop share. There you go. Yeah, you should be able to share it now.
Okay. Desktop, share. Okay. So I click on like this to download it,
Mhm.
and then I go here and open that, and then
Just
what-
cancel that. Like, don't do that. Just cancel, and then open Substance Painter,
okay.
and then whoa, what is this layout? This is crazy. Go up to at the top. You see File, and then do New. Because you don't just double click the FBX, because an FBX is like a really default 3D file, and then Mac is like, I don't know what you want me to open this up in.
Okay.
And then yeah, then just follow along with the rest of the tutorial.
Okay. So is it?
We haven't showed this yet, so just
Oh,
pop
okay.
behind it.
Okay. All right. Let me stop.
There we go.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So File, New, when you open up Substance, you just close out of whatever, like it'll be like, oh, this is the startup. What do you want to do in here? Just say whatever, and then just go to File, New. That's it. And we're gonna be using template PBR metallic roughness.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, your screen
frick.
isn't being shared.
Damn it, Samantha! How could you make me stop my screen share? Ah,
You?
there we go. Back on track. I will never remember to turn it back on. That's just, I will die on this hill. But yeah, so File, New, and then PBR metallic roughness, because we need to set up our new project. And right here it says File. I feel like this is some dumb user interface because like the select button is so far away from File. I would much prefer this to be like justified over there, so you know these are related. But yeah, so we need to go give it a file. So click Select. And then in here, we're going to navigate to the file that we just put out, that character, cheap character. Let me find it. Cheap character painter, that one. You're going to select that. Then in document resolution, you're going to click 2048 right there. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. See, this program is pretty difficult to run, so everyone's computer is going to be different right here, right? So sometimes you might, like, if you have a worse computer, you might have to down res to like 512, maybe even 256. Your character is going to look like it's coming from like a PS1 game, but you'll at least be able to texture it. I'd say do 2048 if you can. If you can, do 4096. Like, why not? Like, we're not concerned with. We want the most detail out of our textures on this, you know. All right, and then in normal map format, click this little drag down and do OpenGL, and then everything else should be pretty much the same. So I'm just going to make a snip of this. Boop, right here. And then your own character. Boop. All right, and then I'm just going to copy that and put that in the Discord and put that in the resources channel. So you can just copy those settings if you're doing this at your own leisure. And the reason we're doing OpenGL in this normal format is because that's what Arnold uses. That's just some code stuff. That's just some code. So we need to use the same normals that Arnold is, because we're going to render it in Arnold eventually. And then click OK. And then since I had that other file open, I'm just going to discard those changes. So yeah, boom, we have our guy. We have our nice little guy right here. Very cool. Very cool. So we just went, this guy used to be in ZBrush today, and now he's already in Substance. Already in Substance. I still can't find the FBX file since it didn't download. I saw it download when you clicked it though.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm looking in my computer, my desktop, and it's like not finding the file. And I follow the steps right now for Substance Painter.
Let me.
And nothing.
Let me stop my share. Someone's going to need to remind me to turn it back on when we get to that point. But yeah, could you share your screen so we can help you out? So go back to.
Okay, so let me go back to Discord so I can open it.
Yeah. So
just click that little one, right?
Yeah. Boom. And then right click that bar that says cheap character.fbx and then do show in Finder. So we can see where that downloaded to. So yeah, you have it right there. And you,
you
have like
okay.
Others.
Okay, I'm gonna. All right, hold on. All right, because my laptop is weird, so I'm gonna move it up here. Okay, it should be fine now. And then I'm gonna go back to Substance Painter.
Yep.
Then I couldn't find the exact word because yours says like algorithmic or something.
Yeah,
like
it did. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Click that drag down. Let's see. Scroll down.
Oh.
PVR. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's different. This must be for Macs only. So scroll up to the top. Yeah. I think the one that you have should be good. PVR
Sorry,
metallic
I
roughness. Yeah, I think
Okay.
that should be fine. Yeah. And then
Okay.
do the select. Let's see if we can find that file now.
Yes.
There you go. Heck yeah.
And this was 2048.
If
And
your
then-
computer's decent, then yeah.
Okay, my computer. Should I change it then?
I don't know. I don't know how good your computer is.
It's been pretty good. Like it'll occasionally like do its loud noises, but it hasn't crashed in a while.
Okay. I think you could go for 2048 then. Yeah. And then do OpenGL. Yep, perfect.
And
then
then
do pull this like window up a little bit so you can see that. Yeah, and then do okay, and then you're good to go. Let's see, it should bring it in.
yay, okay.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I keep stopping it. Okay, let
No
me
problem. Yeah, no, I understand.
Okay.
And then hopping right after that, I also have an issue. I imported the model and it came in, but like it came in with like non-smoothed.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's actually thanks for bringing that up, because when we're quad drawing. Oh wait, what do you mean? Do you mean like the 3 smooth, or the like when you press 3 to see the smooth preview?
Yeah,
Right.
like it's not that anymore. It's like all
Yeah,
polygon.
no, that's because smooth preview is fake and it's only in Maya. Remember,
Right.
like that's only in Maya. Like your real polys are like what you see with one. So any outside program is going to see that 3D object in its one mode. So that's normal for that. But what can also happen is that you might have some really messed up normals by default. So if you want to change that, like when we quad draw, it usually has, let's see, I'm going to unlock these. I'm going to go to mesh display. I'm going to do harden edge. Boom.
Oh, your screen's not on.
No. So that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, there we go. So a lot of the times we'll have like these hard edges on all these faces from when we quad draw. It's nice to just get those out of there for when we're in Substance Painter. So just click on the object and then do mesh display, soften edge.
Okay, cool. I'll do that right away.
And then it'll get those rigid lines out of there, and it'll be nice and smooth. It might not look pretty, this way, but if you're going to be rendering with 3 mode on, then it's nice to see still. But it also is just better than like painting on like those hard faces in Substance Painter. Now,
So wait, is that the wrong way to do it though?
what do you mean?
Because you said it's not pleasant to have to use
Well,
soften
like,
edge if it
so
doesn't.
if I had this like super low poly mesh, and then like, let's get it even more low poly. Boom. Like that just looks so, it's just like, it's like a hard surface, right?
Mhm.
But if we do mesh display and do soften edge, then it at least is like trying to fake having that roundness,
Okay.
So it's just visuals, like
Mhm.
if you have like this super hard surface in Substance Painter over here, it would just look weird to paint on, it's just visuals,
Yeah.
But yeah, does that make sense?
I think so. So just essentially what you want me to do is just to go into it and soften edge on the whole thing.
Yep, just soften the edge on your model. And then to update that file, so say that like you now changed your source mesh, right? You want that now to be changed in Substance, right? But Substance already imported that old file. So you have like your old character in there. So we need to basically point Substance to the correct file again.
Oh, I just closed Substance and I'm just gonna open it again when I have
it's
a new
fine.
file.
Yeah, just make sure you file export or like export this selection out of Maya, and then you'll be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I'm gonna do all that.
But yeah, so then but for those of you that want to know how to update this model in here, you just go to edit, project configuration, and then do select right here, for that file. And then you can just forward it to the new file. Or if you overwrote that same file, you'd have to just forward to that same file. Then either way is going to work. But yeah. Okay. So now we can actually start talking about texturing. My God. All right, let's go. Let's start with the basics. So basically we don't need to see this. In Substance, you have this sort of layout. Now, Samantha has a different layout, but all the buttons and gizmos should be there. I'm wondering if you have like an updated version or something of the software.
I
Or
don't
that's
know.
just-
I clicked the link that you dropped in the Discord. So
Yeah, but I'm wondering, like, because I haven't updated my Substance Painter in a while, so like my layout is going to be a little bit different. But yeah, so I hope it's not different from everyone's, because that'd be pretty tragic. But like the tools will still be there. But yeah, oh my God. All right, so looks like I have two different shaders in here, which is, you know, not ideal, but whatever. You can still see I have that character in this UV space over here. So I have like a little 2-panel view, the 3D view, and then the 2D view. And you can change that up here. And as far as like navigating these, it's kind of like Maya controls. So it's Alt left click, drag to rotate around the character, Alt middle click to pan, and then right click to zoom in and out, or scroll wheel. So it's exactly Maya controls. And oh dear God, I'm gonna close Maya and all of my other recording on this computer. Oh, that's why it's going so slow. I usually record to the cloud. Frick. But yeah, well, I'll have to upload that to YouTube later then. That's gonna take so long. Shit. I'm gonna pause the share, or I'm gonna stop the recording 1 second.